was a few years prior to the eventual calculus. Calculus was sort of invented to solve these differential equations. So there are these problems that were given that people wanted to solve, and it was found that actually calculus was able to solve them, and then these techniques of calculus eventually came up to these techniques that we currently now have for solving the differential equations. So they both basically differential equations sort of forced the invention of calculus. So Newton, Leibniz, so those are, inventors of calculus. Then the Bernoullis, there were tons and tons of Bernoullis, all related. So Bernoulli, I think there are probably 20, maybe 30, no, probably about 30 of them. They're like 30 and the Bernoullis. They're fathers, sons, grandfathers, cousins, uncles, all of them involved in mathematics. So all the Bernoullis. Too many of them for me to remember. There's probably at least 30 of them. They seem to be everywhere, from like beginning of 1600 to like the end of the 7th. So for about 200 years, there are like 200 years of Bernoullis. And I always get them all mixed up. I think, I don't know. I think he's the famous one. Well, so's Daniel. I don't know. They're all. I think these are the top 3, but there could be a few that they're also quite famous too. There are a lot of them. Euler, Lagrange. You'll actually be hearing a lot of these names in the techniques that we'll be using. Laplace trans. That's a section of the book. Bessel function. These are names, actually, some of these, these will be names of equations that we're going to be doing, and you'll hear those names, and they also have special functions throughout this course. Hankel. Lie is actually, you won't hear his name in this book, I don't think, but Sophus Lie, he actually gave a technique where a lot of these, he found that a lot of these techniques are really all one technique that can sort of encompass all these other techniques. Unfortunately, it's a complicated technique, so we usually don't. I tried to teach it, but last time, but it was not that successful, so I probably won't teach it. It's sort of a technique that will